some technical difficulties. We're trying to, Gabby, what's up? Jesse, Joseph, Kyler, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna wait till Eeland comes back. Still working on my first beer. Bree, let's try this again, see what happens. Technical difficulties. So we'll see what happens. Okay, Eeland, I see you're there. What's up, Jesse? What's up, Jimmy? All the homies. All right, I'm gonna try to invite you now, Eeland. Here it comes. Here it goes. Yeah. Don't tell anybody that, Kyle. What's up, dude?
Yo,
How you
can
doing,
you hear me?
bro?
Good, how are you?
Good, man. Stoked that you're doing this. This is gonna be fun, man.
I know, happy to have you. Thank you so much.
Hey,
It's
dude.
been
Nice,
fun.
nice to meet you, man.
I know.
Hey, dude. I missed you at Pyramid that one trip, but I'm really hoping, dude, we can get to fish sometime. But I think that this is pretty sick that Bree put this together.
I mean, this is as close as we're gonna get right now.
Dude. Hey, bro. I've checked out your comedy before, but I was looking at your
Oh
latest
man.
posts lately, dude. It's good.
Nah, man.
What's up,
How
Justin?
how close do I need to be?
I
Is
think
this
you're
I mean,
good. I'll put mine close here so we can kind of see this one,
okay,
and then I'm gonna teach you, or I'll just instruct you on what to do, and then for
cool.
all those people that are watching that are trying to learn how to do it, yeah, just and ask questions and stop me, and if something doesn't make sense, let me know. So we're trying to make it so that if somebody has never tied a fly like yourself, like a fly like this, that we're gonna address any questions that um, that you might have or something along the way.
Perfect.
So, dude, have you ever tied flies before?
I started tying flies and then I just had like a quick setup and in the process of moving from apartment to apartment, I just like lost all my tying stuff and then
Oh,
I
wow.
haven't
Okay.
in like
Yep.
3 years. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was it.
Cool, man. Well, this is a good one. I'm not gonna lie. The pheasant tail actually it's kind of complicated for your first tie. I'm
Of
gonna
course
crack
it is.
my beer here first, real quick.
Nice. Yeah, I
Um.
have Uncle
Mm,
Nearest.
mm-hmm. Hey, virtual cheers, bro.
Hey man, cheers. Cheers everyone
Yeah.
watching.
Cheers, everybody, for coming and checking us out. Mm. Shout out again to Confluence Collective, Bree. Thank you so much for
Yes,
putting this together.
this is
Super
awesome.
rad, super cool, especially during this coronavirus epidemic. This is insane, dude. It's nuts. But just a cool way for
Unreal.
people to get entertained and to learn something and keep the spirits high. I think it's pretty awesome. So thank
And
you.
thank you to Anglers All and Fishpond for sending us some little gifts to help us tie here.
Oh
So
yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's so sick they did
yeah,
that. I think that's amazing, and that's so rad, dude, how they did
I
that.
know.
Cheers. Cheers. All right, so I'm gonna, dude, honestly too, like as a fly tying event, when we tie flies like with homies and like obviously when you're by yourself, it's super fun. But when we do like pyramid trips and we're tying flies, sometimes it'll take us like 30 minutes to tie one fly because we're bullshitting.
Just talking. Hey man, I
Just
have none
talking.
but
So
time.
feel free to just talk your
Yeah,
shit, whatever, man. It's like it's honestly like that's part of the that's like one of the best things I think about tying flies with your homies too is like you can either have one vise and everyone comes together and like you take turns or you guys are tying
yeah,
together. Super cool.
I
Everyone
like
throws
that.
out all of the materials for them to tie, and I've only been tying for I'd say about like 2.5 years now. So I'm not like I don't tie all the time, but I do tie.
Yeah.
I do tie a lot of my flies for especially where I stay here in Plumas
How long
County.
have you been fishing?
Tying, fly tying.
How many? Yeah. Well, how long have you been fly fishing or fishing
Oh,
in general?
I've been fly fishing now. Probably it's coming up 8 years.
Damn,
So,
nice.
yeah, man. I started out. I didn't even start tying my own flies till Pyramid, dude.
Yeah.
So after Pyramid, like seeing all those chironomids and watching Morgan and Chris Ty and Casey and all them, like I'm like, I got to get on that. And then locally, like a lot of the flies that work here in Plumas County that I've figured out, like, you know, you can't buy in the store. It's like certain, you can buy some, but like I'll do my own like takes on like a pheasant tail or whatever, and then I'll add that little secret thing that I think catches them, you know. It's so weird, dude, how that works. But yeah, dude, so I haven't been tying too long, but I've done some of the like trout in the classroom stuff and taught kids how to tie and stuff like that. So it's super fun. I really enjoy it. And by no means do I like consider myself like an epic tyer, but it's something I really enjoy, you know. And dude, honestly, like I was looking up something right now on just a reminder of like other ways people tie PTs, and I made up my own, I say freestyle stuff, you know. There are right ways to do certain things, and like those guys, Fly Fish Food, they tie super dope. Like they're really good, and they have certain techniques that you should definitely check out. That's a good resource for learning how to tie like specific types of flies. Fly Fish Food is amazing. Those guys are great, and then they make it really easy to buy the stuff. But I will say, man, like the stuff that I'm going to show you right now that I have, I mean, it only cost me probably, I'd say about $18, and I'm going to probably be able to get like 100 flies off of these. You know what I mean? So it's worth it to kind of learn. So these PTs, I said a size 10 and a 12 for the hook. Like I mean, the biggest I'll throw is a size 12. I have caught fish on size 10s for sure. I've been lately throwing size 16s, 14s and 16s, but yeah, we're going to try a size 12 today so that it makes it a little easier to see. I kind of wanted to do it on a 10, but so I'll go through what we need in order to tie this fly. But first, let's have another drink real quick.
Let's have another drink. Also, I'm going to run to my room and grab, I believe, the hooks.
Yeah, grab whatever. I'll put on some beats. Cheers, everybody. What's up? Where you guys at? California here, baby.
Oh, no.
Monday. Monday. Name that artist. Who knows this? What's up, James? Yeah. Oh, shoot, Bruce. Come on, guys. So stoked you guys all came. Yeah, Trevor. Woo. 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 All right. It's good, James. Everything's good. Yeah. Let's do it, man. Oh, don't. Hey, babe. Megs. Hey, Megan. Just partying over here. Megs, come say hi. Just come say hi. BOC! Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I miss you too, bro. Let's do it. So, yeah, guys, you know, we got this coronavirus thing, right? So, what we're going to do, we're going to tie flies and save the world. We're going to tie flies and save the whole entire world. That's what we're going to do. Have beers and stuff. I don't know. All right. I don't know if I brought enough beer the other day.
Not too much. Well, I have good news and I have bad news.
Okay, what's up?
Good news, I found some hooks.
Okay.
Bad news, they're not regular hooks.
Oh, that's fine. Hell yeah, this will be fun. Oh,
I have crappie jig head hooks.
Oh wow. Okay, that's awesome. Let's get it.
So we might be tying some. I mean, we could tie some.
That's all. You know what? It's all good. You know what? I think it'll be super fun. I think it'll be actually really funny. So let's get it. I'll teach. I'll do some of the other techniques on the regular stuff, and then you can it's all good. I think that's great. It'll be awesome. Yeah, see, and that's what's cool too, is that obviously, you know what I mean? Like you got to freestyle some flies. In a pandemic, you might not be able to get hooks.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect example.
You gotta get itty bitty jig head.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, let's get jigging with it.
Yeah, sounds good, dude. Yeah, bottom hitters. It's all fishing. All right, so first things first, what I'm gonna do now, if you did have regular hooks, so I'm gonna use these hooks from the fly shop. They are these ones are 2302s. They're basically like a standard nymph style hook. You can kind of see it right there. You know, it's got a longer shank.
Yeah.
I tie all of my nymphs. I mean, it just kind of depends. Actually, to be honest, a lot of my flies, I do tie on emerger hooks a lot of the times. You know what? I'm gonna do it on that one because I need this fly for tomorrow too because I'm going fishing. I think so.
Yeah, I'm going fishing tomorrow too.
Nice. Where are you going? You don't have to say exact names, but you're in Colorado, right?
I'm in Colorado going to chase some trout.
Nice, nice.
While people are not going crazy on the weekends.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go fish locally here in California, Plumas County.
Nice.
All right, so I'm gonna try to be really like exact on the steps here. There's a lot of new fly tyers out there watching this. So, got my hook, I got my bead, and pheasant tails and any bead. You don't honestly like. I will tie my PTs most of the times with black nickel beads, or gold beads. I stopped using copper personally. I don't know. I just don't. But I have them, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start trying to use them again. But anyways, the way it works, so you got a small hole and you got a big hole, right? Now there's two ways that people do this. So the Chronomids style, the way that we do it on pyramid, like this is actually a hook and also a bead I would use on pyramid. You want to go in the small hole, not the big hole. And basically it's gonna look like that. That's how you start, right? Super basic, straightforward. Yeah, there's yours. Your bead's sick. Your bead's already installed.
We're good on the first step, man.
All right, so I was watching the other. I don't know if you got a chance. You should definitely check it out. But it's the other fly tying one that Erica did. And and we had to explain she had to explain how to put it on here. Erica, I love you. I think that you're the funniest and the best. So when you put your hook in the vise, you got a pretty nice looking vise there. It looks pretty good. There's usually a slot inside there. Yours might not have it, but basically what you want it is when you squeeze that vise, right? Whoops. Let's see here. So when you squeeze the vise, you want it to be so that the hook stays in there nice and solid, because when you're pulling on it, you don't want it to be moving around. So I have mine kind of already. So mine's all solid now. Clamp down. I can push on it and it's not going to move. Let me actually clean this real quick for my greasy hands. All right. So yeah, put it in there. And sometimes there's a way you can adjust it. So if it's not locking, you might need to loosen up your back part. I think that gold part. So loosen it just a little bit so that you want it to get it so that the vise is designed so it clamps down real tight, nice, and then you can push on that and it's not moving around.
Right.
Yeah. So it looks like you're probably good. Cool. All right. So let's see. I got that right there. Right there. All right, so the next step. Oh shoot! Give me a sec here. I forgot to charge my phone, dude. So it's got the cord hanging out of the bottom. What are you drinking there, anyways?
Uncle Nearest.
What is that?
Good old Tennessee whiskey. Uncle Nearest was one of the first like black whiskey distillers in the world.
Okay.
And so we use this on the whiskey, and it treats you right.
Nice, dude. Yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah.
When we go fishing, dude, let's definitely get some of that stuff. That sounds
absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
I gotta make sure too when you get whiskey in me that you take care of me, okay?
Gotcha.
Okay. So I don't know. So this is a nice tip for new fly tyers, right? When you're putting the thread through the bobbin, this is called the bobbin. This is what you use to wrap, right? So what I like to do is make sure I got a clean end right there, right? So I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to just cut it off, make sure I got a nice clean end. And there's a little trick here that my cousin taught me. So they sell these tools you can use. I have one here somewhere. I bought it because you don't even need it to basically pull the line through the bobbin, right? To pull it through here. I'm going to show you a trick. So go ahead and put your thread right there on top on that bobbin. Okay, so now give yourself nice bit amount of slack on there, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the bottom of the bobbin here. I'm going to stick my thread in there in that bobbin at the bottom, and I'm just going to suck it through like a straw. So that didn't make it. Kind of just like suck it through there. It'll come up there when you get it good. There you go. Just sucked it through.
Oh, this might take a while.
So yeah, if it's not threaded right, that's why I cut the end there, so it makes it so it's easier to go in the bottom there.
Oh, I thought that was you.
You gotta give it a nice little, like take a bong rip.
I got it. That moved quickly, but I got it.
Did it get you in your throat?
Yeah, you gotta give us warning.
That's so good. Dude, mine did that too. That's great. All right, so the next thing. All right, so when you wrap flies, okay, so when you wrap flies and you're wrapping on your hook shank, you always kind of you want to wrap away from you. Okay.
Right.
Now some people do I've seen some people wrap towards them. You know what, man? I don't say anything. If that's the way they want to do it, that's the way they want to do it. But the way you want to do it is you want to wrap away from you. So now when you want to get your base wrapped up on your hook shank, it's pretty simple. So I have a nice good amount of thread, and also too when I'm wrapping, I'm holding the bobbin through with this little thing right here, right? And it's kind of sitting in your palm. And when you're pulling it, you can use your palm to stop it and break it and then loosen it, whatever. That's how it works, right? And then if you need to pull up some more line, it's super simple. You just kind of, pull up the line, right? Or the thread. So the way you wrap this, and you can see I'm holding it like this, is I'm just going to lay it on the hook and I'm going to wrap away from me. Right? Just at the end there. So I wrapped it like 3 times.
Right behind the
this side.
Right behind the bead?
Yeah, right behind the bead. So right behind the head, the jig head, go away from you. And hold that other end, Eeland, like this. Look at, like hold it like that. And I'm holding it on this side. I'm going to actually make this go a little lower so you can see a little better. Yeah, that's better. So you can see, look at, I'm holding it like this. And I'm just wrapping it. And I'm holding it. Right? And then that's it, like 1 or 2, 3 times. And then what you want to do is you're going to put your base on your thread. So, or I'm sorry, on your hook shank. So what I'm doing is I'm going to start going backwards, stacking it behind each wrap, all the way to the back. And I'm only going towards right past the point of the hook. So on this, since it's an emerger hook, I'm going to go back a little further than usual. So now, since you're on the jig fly, you can go past the jig hook. You can go past that point of the hook, and you're wrapping it like just right next to each other. And you can kind of see mine's just like straight. It just covered all the way. I don't see any hook, any metal on that hook.
Okay.
Okay. So now you know that back piece that I have right here. This piece right here. Yeah, I can cut that off. Right. Get rid of that. And that's essentially the start of every single fly that you're gonna tie. Oh, this is a good time to drink. Ooh. All right. You guys having fun yet? On some beats. Let's see. How about, oh man. Oh shoot. All right. So yeah, so your bobbin, is your bobbin still hanging from there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So now one of the things and one of the tricks, so your bobbin's low like that, right? I like to work, so I'm gonna actually twist it up, and I like to work with like that. You don't want to work with too much, because if you're trying to do wraps with like a lot of line, it's just kind of hard. So what I like to do is I like to work with just a little bit of line.
Okay.
Or thread. I'll call it line. I'll call it rope. So yeah, I like to just have it hang like an inch off of there, maybe an inch and a half. Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. Cool. Okay, so typically, and not all the time, because not a lot of people. Yeah, Kyle, it is easy, dude. This guy Kyle, actually, I met him at a fishing hole, and he just started fly fishing. So this is going to be good for him to learn how to tie his own fly. So the next thing, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do the tail. So we're going to put the tail down, and then we're also going to put down the copper that we're going to use to wrap. Okay. So the next piece of the next piece of material that you're going to need is your pheasant tail. Cool. Yeah. Grab that thing out of there. So it's cool that they send you a pheasant tail. Typically you get like a bunch in a pack. Like this one has 2 in a pack. You can also ask your homies who hunt and see if they got one. But essentially this pheasant tail you can use for a bunch of different types of flies, not just pheasant tail flies, but this is a staple for a ton of flies. Okay. So the way it works, and you can see I've already cut off of that pheasant tail fiber for other flies here. So when you grab it and you go like this, you can see it. You can count the individual fibers, right?
Right.
So typically, what I'm going to do is what I'm going to tell you is, like, for the tail, I like to grab 5 to 7 of them. So 5 to 7. So I'm going to grab like 5 or 7 of those like that, pull it off of there, and then you just cut at the base. Now, one thing you'll notice too. So I cut at the base there. Look at how I have it now. It's just like one. Yeah. So 5 or 7 flies like that, or fibers, and keep them together. And try your best to keep them together, in your hands. Don't let them separate, because they're naturally lined up at the tips. So when you see how they're like lined up, like super nice and proper.
Yeah.
See, so you're just basically going to be working with that tip part for the tail. Okay. Perfect. So now I'm going to grab it in a spot where I know I can lay it down on the hook and then wrap it in. So I want to make it so that those pointy ends are going to be at the tail.
Okay.
And so just try to get it into your hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually grab the pointy end, put it in my left hand, and I know I'm going to start dropping it down. Right.
So how much on either end do you want off of
Good question. So we're not cutting anything. We're actually just going to wrap it in there and then cut it. So typically your tail, just dependent. I like tails to be about half the length of the entire hook, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to make it so this is a size 12 emerger hook. So I'm gonna have it come off like 1/4 of an inch. Now I laid it down with my right hand, so I know where it's gonna go. I grabbed it with my left hand, right? And now you're ready to use your right hand to wrap it in. And then when you wrap it in, you want to keep your bobbin kind of tight in your palm. So watch how I wrap this. I have the bobbin tight in my palm, and I'm going to kind of like loosely wrap it and then tightly snug it in. And then 1, 2, and then there's my tail. So it's kind of like a loose and a tight, it's like a technique, That's actually one of the fly tying techniques is that you're going to learn is how, you get that tail in or those fibers in there and make it. So I usually, 1 or say 3 times is probably pretty good. You can go 4 times for good measure, and then you can cut off that base or that right at the base. Boom. Now your tail's in. Cool. Oh, dude, you know what? That's going to catch you a brown, bro. I swear on that. It's going to work, dude. It's going to work.
I mean, I might try to go get some lake trout with this bad boy.
Hell yeah, dude. I guarantee you will. And that's what's cool about the PT too. The PT, you can tie it like, I mean, the way the PT looks is it looks like any nymph that's out there, but it also looks like sometimes baby fish, you know?
Yeah.
So now, what we want to do is you want to go wrap all the way up back to the behind the head. And it doesn't need to be right next to each other. Just get it all the way back to that front part. I would say just go behind the lead head on that. Maybe go behind all the way up behind that head up there. Now we're gonna put our wire in. So I got copper wire here, and look at look at my wire.
Oh yeah, I got that new pristine.
Nice. Okay, good. So you got the new pristine one, right? So I got a new pristine one here. I'm gonna teach you a little thing so yours doesn't end up like this. Okay. Now, the way it works, look at this other one. Look at this one. So the way it works is when you want to take something off of it, I don't see my other pristine one. So when you want to take something off of yours, oh my God, look at this. So this is what you don't want. All right, let me see. Oh, here, I got a brand new copper one. So
beautiful.
The way it works, so you can see on the top of your wire, this is a really good newbie tip, dude. Okay, so you see it at the top, it's locked in, and then there's also this other part that goes straight to the body of the wire. Hold that with your hand, right? With your hand when you take this thing off. Okay, so that your wire doesn't go and then start to unravel. So keep that pinched. Now grab yourself. Like use your hand as like your it's your brake on this thing. And I'm gonna grab out about 3 inches, 4 inches, something good to work with. Now there's 2 ways to get this wire off. You can cut it. You don't want to ruin your nice scissors and use your fly tying scissors. You can helicopter it. So you basically helicopter. You pinch it and you helicopter it like. Oh, that one didn't work.
Dude, I had a kid growing up who would do this. He would wear shorts with no underwear and do this in class. And he got in trouble a lot.
So the helicopter is like you kind of it's kind of a funky thing, but you could also cut it I have extra pair of like shitty scissors that I use to cut, and also these loons come with like a cutting part on them. So I just wanted to show that little helicopter part, but I'm still not letting go of that other side, and I'm going to lock that top piece back in, and then there you go. You keep your wire nice and clean, and your wire doesn't end up like this.
Perfect. We're back on it.
Nice. All right, so now you got your wire, right? So shorts, no underwear.
It was wild.
Okay, so now we're going to lay the wire in. And the way it works, it's super simple. So for yours, you're just going to lay it in at the top behind that big old head. And what I'm doing is I'm laying it in. And for the new fly tyers that have the bead, I'm laying that copper wire just into that bead. There's like a little opening of where that bead's at. I'm laying it in there. And what you're going to do is just hold it with your left hand and then wrap it down. Just how we wrap the hook.
Almost like if it was like a spine coming out of the head.
Exactly. That's perfect. Yep. All the way to the top of the tail. Super simple. Now I'm going to drink again. Just like real nice and tight down that. And essentially, what you're at right now, where I'm at on mine, yours would be a gnarly, insane chironomid, but where I'm at right now is you're at essentially a midge fly, and you could wrap that up all the way to the top and use that. That's essentially how you do it. It's really easy. So we've got the tail, the wire, the body base. Yeah, yours is looking good. Good. All right, cool. So now the next thing we're going to do is it's the shit. I always forget the name of it. of the part of the fly. There's the tail. The thorax is the top. I
The
forget.
wing case?
What is
Wing
this?
case? Wing case?
No. This is just the body. Not even the body. These are like the legs. No, these aren't even the legs. Anyways, we're gonna do this next part. All right. So for a PT, I'm gonna show you a little technique too that helps my flies last longer. The next thing we're gonna grab is we're actually gonna grab more of that pheasant tail fiber. Now, before we get on this, what you want to do is you want to do one thing with this thread. Okay, you want to move this thread up 2/3 of the way. So for you, you probably want to move it up like behind that lead. I'd put it behind that lead. Yeah.
Let's show people what.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. Oh, that's gonna be a sick ass dude. So I would say go up a little, maybe go up past that one nub, that next nub, so that you have like maybe an 1/8 inch behind that big ass head.
All right, hold on.
Cool. Perfect. All right. So now, oh, wait, actually, that's my bad, dude. Let's go back. We got to go back. My bad. We forgot to put the fibers in. My bad. Back to where we were at behind that tail. We do have to put the fibers in. My bad. All right. Okay.
All right.
So now what we're going to do is it's kind of like the opposite of the way we put the tail in. But what I want to do is grab same thing, like maybe five. I'd say 5. This one looks like about 7 fibers here. I'll probably go. This just depends on how thick you want it to be. So I'll say 6 fibers here. Same way you cut it before. All right. And you're going to make sure you hang on to those. Now, nice. Okay, so this is my little tip. This is my little tip that I was kind of getting ahead of myself. I actually use head cement on the body because what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap I'm going to wrap these in as the body, and this helps keep it a little harder. So when you catch fish on that fly, they don't tear up that PT fiber and it doesn't destroy the fly. So
Gotcha.
Let me see.
Well, I mean, I don't have that. I may have some nail gloss somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, this is something you can. Yeah, this is nail gloss. This is Sally's hard as nails, dude. This stuff right here, fish love this shit.
It'll fish. Yeah, it'll
Bro,
fish.
This is like scent, dude. This is like scent.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just gonna dab it on there real quick, just a little bit. And then what's nice is when you buy one of these little tools, these little it's a little poker tool, you can kind of move that liquid around on it just really easily. So it's something good to have for when you're working with like head cements and stuff like that. Okay. So we still have those fibers in your hand, right? Okay. So now the way we're gonna put this. So remember how we had the points pointed that way for the tail?
Yeah.
We're just going to basically strap in these tips, not all the way like down on it. I'm just going to get them in there so that they're nice and snug, kind of right behind there. Let's see.
Opposite of the tail?
Exactly. And the reason being, I want to show you the reason being is when I wrap them in there, and they're wrapped in there. Now I can go back up. The reason why I'm doing that is because I'm going to wrap the body with this. So I'm just trying to make it so it's nice and snug in there so that I can wrap that hook shank back up towards the head of the fly.
Okay.
And if you have access tip, that's fine. You can cut it off or whatever because you have all this to work with here.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Try this the tip. Try to get it.
So, I'm laying it on here the opposite way of the tail, right?
Yep, yep. And then
Okay.
you just wanna wrap in the tip part. So the other
Okay.
side, like this. So Eeland, look, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you. So all I'm doing is basically there's only maybe about 1/8 of an inch of that tip part wrapped in there. Yeah. So the other, yeah. So the other way, wrap it. So put the point. So I have. So here's the other way, like this. Look at. So here, actually, here's a good explanation. So here's the pheasant tail fiber, right?
Right.
And then I have the pointy end up at the top. I'm gonna actually have it way over here on this left side, like even behind it.
Gotcha.
Right. So now those tips, I'm actually wrapping them in at the base of that wire, like that.
Gotcha.
And the back part is way back off towards the tail and going off
Cool.
the tail. It's like you're making a mega tail almost. And then you strap that thing in there. Perfect, dude. Yeah, nice. So now what you could do is you could go up like two. Oh, did it break?
No. There was just a lot of excess
Oh
feathers.
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So, and that's totally fine. I mean, it just depends. Like, and that's also dependent on the fly tyer, like how you want your the back part of your fly to be, because we're using these we're gonna wrap up on the fly. Okay.
Okay.
So the next step is to wrap these, and this is kind of funky, and this is where some of those people who have like those pretty complex vises, they can put their thread over on this little thing that hangs like right over here and get it out of the way. In
And
our
spin it.
case,
Yeah.
we just got to not be too drunk to wrap it really easily. So I'm going to actually just wrap it about 2/3 of the way up. So now I'm
Gotcha.
wrapping these fibers here. Just be really soft with them and watch that the tip of the hook doesn't unwrap them. And you're kind of just wrapping these pheasant tails, and this is partially why they call it a pheasant tail. The body is the pheasant tail fiber. So with your sweet ass jig there, I think you could probably go a little past that one little nub. And then the way that you want to lock it in, Eeland, I kind of did it a little fast there. Let me grab these here again. So you don't want to let it go, but this is a technique right here. So now you can see I'm holding on to those fibers with my right hand.
Right.
See how this thread is just sitting here? I'm going to
Yeah.
grab my left hand, and I'm going to wrap it up over it and lock it in there. 1, 2, 3. There you go. So now you can see how it's locked in there, and then go one in front of it too. Or two. There you go.
So,
Nice, dude.
Here's an update, everyone.
Let's see what we got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That looks good, dude.
Oh, we're
Okay,
gonna get dirty.
All right, so now we can cut that off, and be careful not to cut your thread. And as you can see, now you have your body of your PT. Yeah. Yeah. All right, cool, man. So now you have your your wire. We're gonna do the same thing. Now, what a lot of people like to do is they'll wrap the wire towards them.
Okay.
So we're gonna keep this at 2/3, right? The thread, and we're gonna wrap the wire towards you, and like a nice candy cane looking style. Make it look fly. Doesn't even need to be that good. You can have it look really bad. Okay, so now I'm going back up to that thread part, right? Hey. And then what you want to do is you want to lock that in the same way we locked in those other fibers. So you're going to go over
How far are you going to the head?
same
Like
thing,
how
like just 2/3 all the way up. And that's
Okay.
it. All right. And then you lock it in. Dude, you're a natural, bruh. I need to get another beer though. How does it feel for you, like to kind of manipulate that stuff?
It feels good, man. It feels like it's giving me something to do.
I tell ya.
Besides watch Tiger King, which I hate.
So you can see how mine is. Look at, like, I'm only 2/3 all the way up. I'm not all the way to the top. I'm leaving myself enough to mess with the thorax. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, hell yeah. That'll work. That'll work. Nice. Okay, so Eeland, that same trick that we did with the wire before, you can helicopter it and it'll pop off of there. I'm just trying to go wide here for the viewers. There you go.
Now I have like little wires sticking up. Should I trim that or lay it back or what?
What I would do in that situation is say screw it and leave it. Oh yeah, we want to get those off of there. So try to actually helicopter that. I know it's going to be hard. It's really small. Or if you have your trimming scissors, you can, or your wire scissors, you can cut them right there. Try to helicopter, yeah, or like pinch it.
Oh, yeah, we'll do this. Oh, that'll do her.
All right, I gotta crack another beer. All right, we're almost there. So you're about pretty much halfway done now.
Hey Tim, you got to drink this.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta chef mine up. Whew. You like beer?
Yeah. I mean, it'll
I'll
do.
have to make you one of these someday, dude. Maybe next year when you come out for the Hex Hatch.
All right, now.
All right, cheers, dude.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, Bree. Okay. So now, the next part. So remember how we did the body?
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of the same way. So go ahead and grab yourself. Same thing, like 5, 7. I'd say like maybe even like 10 fibers.
Oh, we're going big timing.
Yeah, a little bit bigger. Because this is going to also make, the legs. Same thing. Keep them together. Right? I'd say about 10 fibers. You can even go like 12. This is like, yeah, Erica Hex Hatch, dude. She came last year. It was so fun, dude. Oh,
I know I'm sad. I missed it.
Oh, man, we had a blast. It was so cool. Caught fish. Okay, cool. Perfect, man. Okay, so now put them together. Nice little clump. Okay.
All right, this side is up?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just what we're gonna do now. This is kind of a cool part here. Actually, I'm gonna grab a couple more fibers here. I'm gonna give myself a little bit more legs. I like your chunk that you have there. All right. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna these are gonna be the legs, right?
Okay.
So the same way, remember how we went like this and we put it right behind the wire to wrap it up the shank? What we're going to do is we're going to actually just have it be like the point or the point of the fibers about a bead, maybe a bead and a half in front of the hook, right? Because we're going to fold these back and make the legs later. So I'm going to have it be like probably a bead and a half past and wrap those in and lock them in. It's kind of like a nice little finesse little wrap to make it so it's like nice and I grabbed some pretty, mine aren't together, but that's fine. That's okay. And they don't need to be perfect, Eeland, because we're going to actually fold them back. And I'm just wrapping them in, and I'm making it snug. We're going to actually fold those back later on, right? So we don't need it to be perfect or anything, but you want to make sure you have nice space in there towards the head of your hook. Or, I'm sorry, the head, that last third. So you kind of looks like this. Hold on, let me see if I could. I'm going to unplug my phone now. All right, so you can kind of see. Let me see if I can get close up here. There you go.
Okay.
Nice. That kind of gives you an idea, because we're going to actually wrap. I'll show this point part. We're going to wrap some peacock herl into this little section right here. Right up in there. And then this right here is tahine. Right here. And then this right here is salt. See? Salt. All right. All right. Okay, cool. So now this is actually one of my favorite pieces of fly time material. This stuff right here, the peacock herl. Yeah, this stuff, man, is money. You can make tons of flies with this stuff. It's also like the pheasant tail gold. I mean, you know, when you think of a PT, you think of the pheasant tail. It's also the peacock herl in there.
And let me just say, I think peacocks are the strippers of the animal world. I just want to say that.
They are, dude. They're so sick. I love this. I love the sounds they make. They're rad. Yeah, rad bird.
So you ever see a peacock in the wild, get a couple of dollars out.
Yeah. So what you do is you just need like 2 of them. You can do, for yours, I'd grab like 3 or 4.
Okay.
So you can see like they're just individual fibers, just kind of like that. I'd grab 3 or 4 of those things. And keep them together just like you did those other fibers. I'm just going to grab 2. Okay, so you got your peacock herl, right? You can see there's that white end that came out of the poor bird's belly or wherever, or butt,
yeah,
or whatever. Okay, so we're actually going to keep those 2 together. So make them so that they're even, right? And then what we're going to do is kind of go up, I'd say about 1 inch. And we're going to use that strong side. It's a stronger, you can tell it's stronger than the end, right?
Right.
The end is a lot weaker. So we're actually going to use this back piece, and we're going to grab our scissors, and we're going to cut that so that we have this nice 2 together. You can see them. They're right together. Okay? So now I have that long end pointed towards the back of the fly.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is, remember that little gap in there that we created? We're going to lock these in there, in that gap, and we're going to make sure that our thread goes back and meets that body part, that where we ended that back bottom part.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm wrapping over the wire right now.
No, not all the way. Just to here, I'm going to show you mine. Just locking it in at that tip part. You can see it right here. So let me grab these fibers so you can see that I'm just kind of locking it in right there. In what you'll notice. Let me see what you got. Oh, perfect, bro. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, cool. Now wrap your take off. Go ahead and clip off the end or all of those extra bits of herl, but not the extra bits of peacock. So you want it so that you just see the pheasant tail. Let me see if I can. So get that. Go ahead and cut that extra peacock herl that kind of is just sitting there. Point it up. Yeah, that stuff, that green stuff.
I don't think I have any extra tag of the.
Oh, the BT? Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, and that's that's actually also something too. So I have the extra because I'm gonna make legs.
Okay.
You don't have that, and that's totally fine. Honestly, man, I've caught so many fish on pheasant tail flies that don't have that. Hey, what's up, Aptos? And but when we're done, we'll show the difference of without legs and then with legs. Okay.
Cool.
All right. So let me put this back here. So now we're almost done, dude. We're getting towards the end here. Whoops. All right. So now what we're gonna do, so make sure your thread is right there behind that front bead. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab these peacock curls, and I'm gonna just twist them just like 2 or 3 times, just so they kind of make one big thread, right? And now I'm gonna wrap those away from me, and I'm making that thorax is what it's called, I think. All you fly tying nerds out there, go ahead and tell me if that's what it's called. I think that's what it's called. They're like, fuck this guy. So I'm wrapping it. So I'm making a nice little body up there up at the top. Can you tell how it's doing that? Now it looks like those flies you buy from the store now, right? Nice. So Eeland, what you want to do is when you get it all the way and you have a nice like body up there, the way that you want it, then you could lock that in by holding it again with your right hand and using your left hand to wrap that pearl in there, nice and tight.
Do you have a way to make the hurl like tighter?
Yeah. You just want it. You want to tighten it with your hand, like get that nice and tight. But you want to make sure, because when you twist them, it kind of braids it a little bit and makes it stronger. Okay. That's why that twisting is a little bit beneficial. All right, so I'm gonna lock those in there, just how we locked in that peacock earlier. Thorax, yeah. See, I got it. Yeah. Oh yeah, look at red truck shirt, dude. Look at, I can measure fish.
I need one of those.
Sick, red truck. Yeah. Oh wait, Nature Boys. Yeah. Nature Boys shirt. All right, so when that's done, you can cut that extra peacock curl off, and we're almost done.
Now, do you save this to use again? Like, could you use this?
Good question. When I'm blowing through flies, and as I start to like kind of get, like, because that's that large peacock curls that you got there. You can reuse that for sure. For when you're banging out flies, one thing that Herb told me at the Trinity Fly Shop, if you tie one fly, Mario, you better make sure you make enough time to tie another one. Because the last thing you want, dude, is to be out there and you tied this fly and you were just messing around and you didn't tie that other one and it was just catching them. So always tie 2 of the same. And you can use these more as you get better with fly tying and stuff like that. Like I'll even sometimes use if you look at I actually just picked this rag up when I want to go fly tie. I just pick this whole thing up and I throw it in my boxer.
Yeah.
But look at all of, like, if I run out, bro, and we're in a pandemic and we're in the apocalypse, and I need to go catch some shit. I'm gonna grab whatever I'm gonna tie a fly off of this thing. I'm gonna tie. Oh, look at, actually here's like a PT that has a bent out hook from a fish. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna use this in the apocalypse. I'm gonna use this. I'll probably, so yeah, you could totally add those to other flies. So
okay.
All right. So now we're almost at the end here, Eeland. So I have the legs here. You don't. You still have that piece back here.
Yep.
That's that wing casing that you were mentioning earlier. Now, for other people who have been following along, the way that this works is pretty simple. So I'm going to grab, and this is what you're going to do, Eeland. Yeah, cool. That wing case there, Eeland, you're going to actually grab that. It's really simple. You're going to fold it forward. That's it. So you're folding it forward towards the eye of the hook, And for people who have the legs, you're actually also folding the legs back. Now for you, Eeland, so what you want to do is when you fold it forward, this is now where you're going to get a little technique where you kind of pinch that fiber on the hook and then wrap it in
Around the bead head.
Exactly. So I'm going to make sure my legs spread a little bit. Legs spread.
Oh, hell yeah.
And when I'm locking it in, I'm also going on top of it, Eeland, and then I'll fold it back and I'll wrap in front of it too. Okay?
Okay.
So now what you can do when that's done is you can cut it at the base of that peak of that pheasant tail, right? And then kind of finish that wrap behind that bead. Now, this is going to be the fun part. We got to finish the fly off. So now here, let's go ahead and look at mine. My legs look a little crappy, but you know what? Trout don't give a shit.
Let's see what we got.
There you go. Let's see yours, dude. Here, I'm gonna take a screenshot of ours together. Actually, here, put your alcoholic beverage behind it. Yeah. Yeah.
Uncle Nearest.
Yeah, perfect. Just like that. Hold on. I'm gonna try
Hold on.
Oh,
There it is.
yeah, nice. All right, I got a screenshot. Let me get one more. Damn.
It'll fish. That's right. It'll fish.
It'll fit? Oh, that'll fish for sure, dude. That'll catch you. Guarantee that'll catch you a fish. So let me see for the viewers one more time. Let's see. There it is.
So you foot.
Okay, so this is the fun part. And have you ever finished off a fly before?
Yeah, my gramps taught me when he first was teaching me.
Oh, okay, cool. So do you have one of these tools, right?
No, he just taught me with your fingers.
Oh, okay, yeah, like what is it called? A clutch, or oh man, what's it? A clutch knot, right? You like kind of wrap it and then you put it on at the tip. Yep. Okay, cool. Why don't you show us your way that you do it there, and then I'll do it. Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, go ahead and show it. So it's like a.
I don't. It's gonna be tough to explain, but you just take 2 fingers and you put it on your thread,
right,
and you kind of twist and make a loop, and then you wrap that loop around the eye, right behind the bead.
There it is. Yep.
And then just pull your thread. Bada bing, bada boom.
Nice. And then what people usually say, like 5 times, 6 times, right?
Yeah. I probably did it 4 or 5 times. I think. Yeah. I don't remember.
Cool, man. So I'm gonna show this.
Yeah, show the tool.
Whip tool. This thing's pretty cool. It's kind of awkward at first. The way it works is you grab your, and then I remember this is Erica when she was doing this. It was the best thing ever. So you whip finish, right? You poke it in, you push
away
from you. Then this back loop, you wrap the back loop, and then you kind of let go of it so that it could twist. There you go. It's twisted now, and there's a triangle there, and I'm manipulating that corner of the triangle by pulling both hands away from each other. So I'm going to pull the left hand so that corner of that triangle gets right next to that bead head, and then I'm going to wrap it now. 1.
And you're still holding the bobber so it doesn't.
Yep. 4, 5. Right? So now you can see it still moves. But the way to lock it in is you push this loop part towards the fly while the point is still down. And then you pull with your left hand. There you go. And I actually, because I like to use my flies till they are completely destroyed, I'll do one more.
With a lot.
All right. And that's it. You clip it. Now, this is